Here are 3 easy tips when you're designing your deck. First off, what is the space going to be used for? Second off, how many people and what type of events are you going to be hosting or having on your new deck? And then third, what style do you want? So let's dive into those a little bit deeper. Number 1, what spaces do you want? So much like designing your own home, you're going to be designing a kitchen area, a dining area, a bedroom, all of that for your house. Kind of the same concept when you're designing your deck. What are you using it for? So a lot of times you're gonna have maybe a cooking area to choose from, a lounging area, an actual eating area. Maybe there's a games area, depending on what the rest of your yard looks like. Maybe your kids play out there. So you'll decide what is the actual space going to be used for, or what are the desires. The next step, number 2, is to actually look at the functionality. And so if you've chosen, let's say, 3 of the space ideas, let's just use dining, lounging, and kid play area. Let's say those are my 3 main focuses. Then I'm then going to take a piece of paper and just draw or cut out, either way, a scaled version of, okay, so if I'm gonna do a cooking area, how big do I need that to be? You're gonna cut out, let's say, a 10 by 10 area. Now you have that square piece, set that aside. Second choice was gonna be a lounging area. Again, well, I usually host around 5 people, so I could use a smaller table. So I'm gonna need a 7 by 8 area for that. Again, cut that out on paper, set it aside. The third one was a kid play area. So maybe you're gonna be putting a wading pool on the deck, or a sandbox, or whatever it is you're gonna be putting on the deck. Again, just figure out the rough size. Always go a little extra just for some elbow room. Cut that out. Put that in the pile. Now that you have those 3 cutouts, you can start to configure the space and see how close to the kitchen do I want this area versus that area. Which area do I want to lead out to the yard? You probably don't want your outdoor kitchen furthest away from your inside kitchen, so on and so forth. Once you have the space kind of designed or laid out, it's then time to move on to what is the style, number 3, style of the outdoor space. One thing that drives me crazy is when an outdoor space is designed and there's not like a good feeling that gets created when you step into the space. And a lot of times for me, like when I'm designing a space, I like to think of what feeling should somebody have when they're looking at the space or they're using the space. A lot of times it's gonna match your house. So I'm just gonna use maybe a modern home on the Portland Hills as an example. If that's your house and you wanna do a nice outdoor space, you're gonna maybe go for a more minimalistic approach. Every material selection you use or little feature you use can tie in and complement your home rather than clash with your home. The important part here is you want your space to look like it was always part of your home and not just this random extension. And so that's why it's really important to think of what style do you want and what style is your house, and how are you going to match that with your railing selections and things like that. Quick example here. If you have a really ultra modern house and you go with a white vinyl railing, it might kind of clash. That white vinyl railing would probably be better on more of a colonial or a traditional house. The railing on a modern house might be more of a sleek glass railing, or maybe it's a nice cable railing, something like that to kind of match it. So these are just 3 easy steps to get you started in the deck design. For any more of those tips, talk to our designers. There's, I hate to say it, but a lot more that goes into it. But it's the fun stuff. It's what features do we want, and diving into the actual feelings and looking at your space and seeing, okay, you have a great yard for us to use. Let's really make this flow into the yard. Or shoot, you have a cliff below you, you don't have a yard. How are we going to maximize this space instead of making it look like a big square platform? How do we design in and add that functionality while also giving you that space to enjoy the outdoors? Hopefully this helps. For more, head over to our website for more information.